Yo, what's going down, brothers? Brother Stevanius here. This is Command Centre Wargaming. So, fantastic, everybody. So, look, I just finished this guy up. It's a Alpha Legion Leviathan Dreadnought. I got it done in about a day or so, just after I did the Legion Glaive, which I'm also going to be doing a turntable for. Now, I was really pleasantly surprised with this one, because it was actually meant to be like a quick job. But it seemed to come out pretty well. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity as well, just to have a bit of a talk about weathering and sort of just a headspace where I went, around the project and just some weathering techniques, I suppose. And maybe, people can take something away from it, maybe not, whatever. But I like to, discuss these things, and so let's get on with it, I guess. Basically, all right. So, believe it or not, I personally have had a little bit more trouble getting a good blue than a teal or a green aquamarine kind of color with Alpha Legion. Now the reason is basically because when it comes to blues, I feel as though because this is kind of like a loyalist scheme, Alpha Legion. They can be both, they can be either, but my Alpha Legion army kind of has the purple guys, which are pre-heresy, pre-crusade purple guys, kind of like they were from the Legion book, the Horus Heresy book. And then I've got the blue guys, which is like this, which is pre-heresy Alpha Legion. And then I've got sort of like the aquamarine kind of teal, sort of turquoisey Alpha Legion, which are the when they kind of turned. And my sort of logic of it is the further you go into the heresy, the more sort of aquamarine they kind of got. But the trick is getting a good blue, but also getting that hint of green in there, which is very important too, because they can't be like ultramarines. Now, what I've done here, I've used some of my techniques, which is with the weathering, with the oils. I've got a tutorial on the channel for that. But I've also gone through and done some additional weathering and stuff like that. You've noticed here, I think one of the main things with weathering, and some of the mistakes that I see a lot, is people just get the brush and just go to town on it. And I think that there are a few occasions where this is fair enough, like let's say Death Guard or World Eaters. And I think that's fair, okay, because both those armies are very, very roughed up traditionally. They're basically very, very, very worn, okay, battle damaged, especially Death Guard, which are essentially just like, complete, just like, utterly, morbid, alright, and even in the pre-heresy, they were very dirty. Whereas I feel as though other Astartes legions, including the Alpha Legion, they were always pretty much pristine as well. They weren't always weathered up, kind of like the Alpha Legion, kind of like the word bearers or the Death Guards. The other Legion, I guess, would be Space Wolves, I think, which I think you could do a lot of weathering with before it starts to look a bit, crazy. But I think generally people go a little bit too far, and I like to work with the philosophy of less is more. Okay, so you don't just get a sponge and start hitting it and just basically just make it look completely weathered to the point where it's just like, oh my goodness, what's going on there? But at the same time, you need to make it weathered enough that looks like it's worn, because you've got factory fresh, worn, battle torn, and just like weathered, and I guess you've got on the verge of just collapsing. The way I wanted to go with this guy, I wanted to sort of get there and go with him, give him the kind of look of somebody who was, he just got off the drop pod kind of thing, so yeah. So what you can see here, I've got a bit of a balance with some light rust on the storm cannons, and I've done some mud in the middle there. I've also put some dust up on the top, sort of shoulders in between the grills there and things like that. Up the back there's actually some dirt hitting it from the bottom, and then I've got another layer of sort of like ash under that. Bit of burning on the pipes there and on the exhausts, which I think is important. The usual sort of weapon burn on the turrets there, on the tips. And and I've gone through, and I don't know if you can actually see it there, but there's actually really subliminal weathering there inside that sort of grill as well. Now, the other thing I see happen with Leviathan Dreadnoughts a lot is basically people go in there and, they paint those freaking grenade launchers as lights. Now, you can paint with stuff whatever you want, okay? You can do whatever you want, it's your mini. But they're not lights, they're grenade launchers, okay? So, like, if you're wondering what's going on there, why basically, like, I haven't gotten the lights happening there, it's basically because of that. Here we have more of a close-up view of the top sarcophagus and everything. I guess so you can sort of start to see a little bit more of the detail on this. And you can see there, just in the grill, underneath his head, you can see that I've got ever so slight weathering there. There's a little bit of streaking on the cod piece as well, but it's nothing crazy. Like, I think, people have to be careful here. It's not just about, getting the null oil, splashing it all over the place, and then going through and then, just getting a bloody sponge and going, ugh. I'll be doing some more weathering tutorials, including chipping and washing with enamels and things like that on my channel. I'll also be going through doing some weapon burning tutorials, all sorts of things. But yeah, I think it's just important just to keep it in perspective, and less is more. You see some of the streaking down there. I didn't go too crazy because, once again, it's Alpha Legion, it's not Death Guard, so that's basically the thing there, what we have to take into consideration. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it, talking about the weathering, and I think it's just all about being a little bit liberal with it and deciding where you need the weathering and where you don't need the weathering. Decide, what is too much, what's not enough, things like that. But anyway, everybody, look, I'll wrap this one up here. I really hope you've enjoyed the turntable, and I'll be uploading more, definitely uploading more as we go. Take a look out for my Legion Glaive, which will be coming up very soon as well. Now, unfortunately, I did have a Horus Heresy event this weekend, but with everything that's going on in the world right now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it there. So what I've decided to do, I've actually decided to switch it up a little bit. I've got a litany of Alpha Legion on the production queue. However, what I feel it's better if I maybe switch it up a little bit. What I want to do is when I actually start painting some Space Wolves, just to switch it up, because I've been doing heaps of Alpha Legion so far, and that's great. Like, I love the Alpha Legion. They're my #1 faction in 40k and in 30k. But I really want to do a little bit more weathering, I think, and I just don't think Alpha Legion is the Legion to do that. So fantastic. All right, everybody, I'll catch you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed the turntable and the commentary. If you have any comments or suggestions or even questions down below, let me know in the comments down below. Fantastic, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one. Brother Stevanius out.